Hi all. In this video, I'm going to discuss about testing and different testing methods used to test the software. So let me start with testing. Testing is a process of executing a program with the aim of finding error. To make our software perform well, it should be error-free. If testing is done successfully, it will remove all these errors from the software. So basically, we build a software for particular purposes, and uh, for the software to work properly, we should test whether if there's an error, and we need to correct if there's an error. So basically, testing does that process. Let me move on to next topic, and that is principles of testing. So there are 6 principles of testing, and they are: all the tests should meet the customer requirements. That is, the customer uh, asks asks or has certain needs for a software, and basically he needs to meet all his needs with that software. And the first principle is that all the tests should meet the customer requirements. That even after performing all the tests, the software should be the same as the customer has requested, or what you say is that meets the purpose of the customer. So to make a software testing should be performed by third party. Apart from us, the software must be tested by a third party as well. Exhaustive testing is not possible, as we need the optimal amount of testing based on the risk assessment of the application. All the tests should be conducted should be all the tests to be conducted should be planned before implementing it. It follows Pareto rule, which states that 80% error comes from 20% of program components. Start testing with small parts and extend to large parts. Okay, now I'll be discussing about types of testing. So the first one is unit testing. The unit testing focuses on smallest unit of software design. In this design, we test an individual unit or group of interrelated unit. It is often done by programmer by using sample input and observing its corresponding outputs. That is, in this testing, we only test a sample, or what is a unit of the program. That is, for example, let us consider the example of a for loop. And the programmer checks whether the for loop is working correctly by giving a sample input and checking its corresponding output. And if the corresponding output is the one which he needs to obtain, then he can say that the program is working properly. So that's all about unit testing. The next one is integration testing. So integration testing, the objective is to take unit tested components and build a program structure that has been dictated by design. Integrating testing is testing in which a group of components are combined to produce output. Integrating testing are of 4 types: top down, bottom up, sandwich, big bang, and big bang. The example for integrating testing are black box testing and white box testing. Black box testing involves validation. If in this, we ignore internal working mechanism and focuses on what is the output. White box testing, it is used for verification. In this, we focus on internal mechanism, that is how the output is achieved. So integration testing deals with the program, the unit programs. That is, in the earlier slide, that is the previous slide, I had mentioned about unit testing. In integration testing, we combine all these units and integrate it to form as the program. So as I mentioned in this slide, there are tests, two examples for integration testing, and that is black box testing and white box testing. Okay, Now the third type of testing is regression testing. Every time new module is added leads to change in program. This type of testing makes sure that the whole component works even after adding components to the complete program. That is, when some change is made to the program, or a new module is added, or a new function is added to the program, that may affect the program. So in this testing, it is tested whether that the new module has affected the program or not. Now the next type of testing is system testing. In this, software is tested such that it works fine for different operating system. It is covered under the black box testing technique. In this, we focus on required input and output without focusing on internal working. In this, we have security testing, recovery testing, stress testing, and performance testing. So, as I mentioned in this slide, in this testing, the software is tested such that it works on the all platforms, that is Linux, Windows, Mac. The software is not only used on a single operating system, and in this testing, we test that if the software works on all platform or not. We just focus that in the previous slide I had mentioned about black box testing, and the similar technique is used here. In this, we focus on required input and output without focusing on internal working. That is, the logic of different programmers might be different. So doesn't matter what the logic of the programmer is, unless your input is working and you are getting the proper input for the proper input. The next one is performance testing. It is designed to test the runtime performance of software within the context of an integrated system. It is used to test speed and effectiveness of program. As I had mentioned in the previous slide, that different programmers have different logic, and the effectiveness of different logic are also different. So the best logic will be the most effective program, or the software will be the one with the best logic. And this test involves testing of the speed and effectiveness of the program. So that's all about performance testing, and these are the some different methods of software testing. And I have covered the topic, and there are more. If you browse through the internet, you can find many more testing techniques. Thank you for watching the video.